No waters in the River Jordan.
Okay. So, at what age did you begin drinking? Before marriage or into marriage?
Now, it was before marriage.
So, the day you were very humbled in the bus, you were also already drinking?
He was from the office.
I was from the office,
so he was still sober.
but I was brought.
Yes, I'm now on the other side of the screen. That means that Kiage And Keitany is back in the studio. Kiage And Keitany, it's been a long session this morning. Today I'm feeling it. It's heavy. So sometimes when I'm not here, you suffer a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always a struggle. I mean,
Oh,
you pulled through.
yeah.
I mean, I'm saying you pulled through regardless. But
Still here, we're pushing on it. Anyway, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Have you had breakfast?
Not yet. It's
They've
you
been
know,
waiting for it.
I'm waiting for the whole team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the whole team.
Ah, fantastic. Are you buying
Yep.
breakfast today? For the whole team, right? I mean, the only reason you wait for the whole team is we're going to buy breakfast.
Is
Some
it-
Kitu, they're listening.
Okay, fair enough. There we go.
Oh, yeah?
I'll do it.
Guys, breakfast it is by
No
Kiage And Keitany.
No problem.
Make sure he doesn't step out of the studio before buying a breakfast.
No problem.
It's a must. Yeah. Yeah. That's that. Guys, you can start ordering right now from whatever platforms that you guys order from. Kiage And Keitany is going to buy that breakfast.
By the way, I'm not going to pick a place for you guys.
No.
You pick the place yourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, you have Kiage And Keitany's number on the platform that you're ordering. Please get his details inside. Yeah, so that he's charged directly, not you guys.
You
Yeah.
can say, you can decide to go pick a place, go take whatever you want, and then you just, and
Sign the number.
send me the bill. Send me
All
the
right.
bill.
All right. Here
Yes.
we go. Here we go. Anyway, it's been quite a morning. On a newsroom diary, I know what we are covering today. We do have the caravan.
The on the newsroom diary, the expectation that we have today is that Azimio and Kenya team will be holding a parliamentary group meeting. We are yet to get official communication on where exactly it will happen, but we understand that they might be having a parliamentary group meeting. So we'll be following up that particular developing story to so that we can we can update you on what exactly, but of course we do know that the key agenda of that particular meeting ought to be the bipartisan engagements. We do know what Raila Odinga and his troops said in regards to the bipartisan engagement and how they want it to be done. They want how the 2007-28 talks were done, not through Parliament, right, like President William Ruto has suggested. So that, of course, will be one of the things that they'll be talking about, and of course, other key issues of the coalition. And like Odinga said, if the talks do not bear any fruit, then it means they will have to go back to the people, which technically or literally means going back to the streets. So we'll be following up that particular story for the viewer.
That's it, and those are the conversations that we've had this morning, by the way, extensively in that regard. Because do you think Raila Odinga and Keitany knew? I'm sort of asking what this story would be. Do you think Raila Odinga knew exactly what the process was going to be Sunday when he made that announcement of calling off the demonstrations? Because he came back later on and made new demands and sort of saying that it doesn't like the idea that whatever recommendations that the committee, that the bipartisan committee is going to come up with, that they still have to go back to Parliament, tabled, discussed, and then the resolutions adopted. Do you think he had a clear idea on Sunday?
That particular question brings the debate surrounding whether President William Ruto and Raila Odinga did engage in talks before their particular pressers, because at the end of the day, it's like, and I personally, this from my own, from what I got from the address by President Dr. William Ruto, it was specific on what he wants, the bipartisan, team or engagements on how it should be done and on what basis. And from his side, I could tell it was more of on the reconstitution of the IEBC, because that was the matter that he really dwelt on. But listening to what Raila Odinga had to say that particular day, he sort of agreed to the talks, but to the question as to whether he really understood, got the point that President Dr. William Ruto was driving is another debate. And because hours later, he sort of came back with new demands, and it begs the question, did they really talk?
They actually talk.
Did they? Because if they had, engaged in talks, and we're not saying they didn't. Yeah. We had Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah saying the president did not engage with Raila Odinga in any way, not in meeting in person or through a phone call conversation. They're saying there were no conversations, no engagements or negotiations at all via the phone call. But
So if Ichung'wah, Keitany, is speaking the truth, then the entire plan, because the only thing that the president mentioned Sunday was about the formation of this committee that then would sit down and talk about what the demands for the Azimio coalition are, isn't it? And that's when Raila Amolo Odinga came back in and said, wow, that's an olive branch. We want to come and talk about it. But then even the information kept on developing in the sense of that even once this committee then has come up with resolution, that have to go back to Parliament, so I could get the final decisions and that the Parliament would debate on these recommendations before they are adopted into law. Keitany, so maybe, and I'm saying this with this, that's the story probably that we've been following now and we're going to follow, that maybe the deeper details of this plan and what this committee was going to do were all clear on one side. Because later on, and I did speak about this morning, that's when you had Raila Amolo Odinga saying that he's not essentially comfortable with the recommendations of the commission going back to Parliament, because he sort of even likened the current situation to the 2007-2008 post-election violence, when we had a committee that came back together to reconcile the two warring sides, when whatever the committee Keitany came up with was final, and that's exactly what was adopted. Now, Raila Amolo Odinga envisions this current situation to that, and he's saying, well, that committee is going to be final.
Well, it depends on, how he wants it to be, because definitely these are two sides. There's one way that Kenya Kwanza wants the negotiations and everything to be done, and like President William Ruto said, within the confines of the law. And on the other side, there's Azimio and Kenya, led by Raila Odinga, who they believe things are not going according to how they want. Yeah. And Raila Odinga said he wants the process, akin to the 2008 situation, the talks led by Kofi Annan. And you've seen Kenya Kwanza leaders respond to that, and they're saying there's no way, because if there's I want to quote what leader of majority in the Senate, Senator Aaron Cheriot, said, and as well the governor of Nakuru, Susan Kihika, they said, then in 2007, there was chaos. That is why it led to both sides sitting down through the committee and led by, of course, Kofi Annan to mediate both sides and find a solution. That is why the position of Prime Minister was created. And I believe it was on February the 28th of 2008. But now, the circumstances and the scenarios surrounding all this are totally different. It's about issues that Raila Odinga and his team want to be addressed. That is according to Aaron Cheriot, the Senator of Kericho County, and Governor Susan Kihika of Nakuru. And you'd want to interpret those two scenarios the way you want. But at the end of the day, I feel like we are sort of moving away from the real issues here, because if it is about engaging in now new talks and having a process akin to the 2008 Accord, it now means we are trying to move away from other issues. The key concerns here are the cost of living. The key concerns here were the prices of common commodities.
Yeah.
Understand? So at the end of the day, are we going to prioritize the talks on the reconstitution of the IEBC or prioritize the cost of living, the prices of common commodities? So to me, it's some sort of a catch-22 situation, and what needs to be addressed first. Because at the end of the day, from the way things are looking, I'm saying the president and his team, and of course together with Raila Odinga and his team, headed on a collision path.
Yes.
Yet again, despite just a few days, by the way, after what would say was some sort of a truce between the two. So it is a precarious situation.
Even as we talk about this story, because it's going to be the biggest story essentially in our newsroom, even as we get ready for the Easter break, Keitany, I want to take you back to that story that was also run by the Standard this morning on the front page. Keitany, you see both sides now, and there was a meeting also that was held by the president earlier in the week when he met the supposed members of that bipartisan committee, negotiations committee. I want to take you back to what happened in 2008 when the country disputed, or when we first disputed election results, and this is exactly what happened. By then, if you do remember, we did have government, that was PNU, and also did have ODM party. If you look at the negotiators that were on both sides, I want to read for you. On government, in terms of PNU, there was Martha Karua, there was Samongeri, there was Mutula Kilonzo, and there was Moses Wetangula. All right. If we go back to ODM, there was Musalia Mudavadi, there was William Ruto, there was Sally Kosgei, and then there was James Orengo. If you look at the names that were fronted back then, and then, Keitany, you try and compare them back to the names that have been fronted now, you might actually say that these guys were not essentially hardliners in their stance in those negotiations back in 2008. But now the approach that both sides have taken this time, Keitany, is that it looks as if, and this is what my analyst this morning, that is Albert, is that if you look at the names of this committee, it's as if we've exported the riots that we had in the streets to the riots that we're going to see now in a boardroom. If you look at the names that have been fronted there, all of them, Keitany, from both sides, hardliners. You look at the likes of Ichungwa, Cheriot, you look at the likes of Sifuna, you look at the likes of Silvanus Osoro, the ones that are sort of getting rumored to be in the final list. Senator Oleda Makina, you will say they're hardliners from both ends, which essentially makes the story interesting, and that's what we're going to follow it, in the sense of how this guy's got a meet, Keitany. You can imagine Olekina trying to front a proposal to Ichungwa or Cheriot.
I think, in as much as they are, hardliners, they for the sake of the interest of the country, at some point, despite their differences on what they believe, because they do belong to different political affiliations, they ought to, address the issues at hand professionally and with decorum, because at the end of the day, and it's sometimes they just, talk the way they do in public gatherings, but in private, they try to understand the other. Because the other day you saw Ndindi Nyoro, the Kiaru MP, with Embakasi East MP Babu Wino,
yes.
And they were talking, laughing. There were photos that surfaced on social media, and I want to believe that at the end of the day, whether this will be the final list of leaders from both sides, and of course you've seen it includes minority and majority leaders from both the National Assembly and the Senate. I do hope that if indeed these talks will continue, they will arrive at a meaningful solution. Yes.
But it's interesting, Keitany, but we're going to have to follow it, because Raila Odinga sort of has made the U-turn around what it envisions the committee to be. Final, done. If it's final, then we've got to look at the names that are inside. That's a big story that we'll keep on following right here on Lookuptv, plus many other. And today we'll be giving you exactly what our Lookuptv caravan will be into across the city. We'll be coming straight to where you are. So wait along. You might see this verse right here talking to you about the benefits of watching Lookuptv. All right, now let's then jump into the next part of our conversation this morning, which is exactly what is trending on your socials this morning. All right, do we have it? Let's see the tweets, and thank you very much. Yeah. All right. There's a big one, Keitany, and I know you can't view the screen from where you're sitting. This
Now I can. Please, I can. You want me to read that tweet?
Yeah, read it.
There we go. Kimani Ichung'wah says the election was concluded conclusively. Those who want to demonstrate, go right ahead. You can even do it daily. But National Accord, aka Nusumkate, is a pipe dream.
Oh, so yesterday, you just did not want to read a tweet about Arsenal and the comparison they would have made about Man United.
You see,
you're unearthing yourself, Keitany, and you're the one who came up with that tweet, and you pretended you couldn't even read it.
No, Simba, it's because today it's on a full screen.
It's over now?
Yeah, the other day it was a bit far. But again, I wouldn't want to read Arsenal things, talking about Arsenal, but anyway.
Anyway, is that?
There you go.
Keitany, that on the side. But Keitany, you see that now?
Exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's a headliner. That even these guys who are purportedly now going to be in that committee, they're even putting rules known very well before they even get into that negotiation room, Keitany.
I'll tell you what. And this is what I think will be the situation.
Yeah.
If at all they do, have a sit down, both, the bipartisan engagements or talks with leaders, politicians from both sides, and at the end of the day, the main agenda becomes, not the cost of living or not the reconstitution of the IEBC at first, but matters concerning, talks, would replicate the talks that happened in 2007, 2008, led by Kofi Annan. Let me tell you one thing. I don't foresee that happening.
Doesn't it?
I do not think they'll come to an agreement.
Yeah.
Unless, at the end of the day,
because
before I let you,
yes, Keitany.
the likes of Kimani Ichung'wah, the likes of Opio and I, at the end of the day, they will come to that particular meeting or committee to echo what their leaders or their political principles have told them to do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you expect Kimani Ichung'wah, Silvana Sosoro, Aaron Cheruiyot to echo what the president believes is right. On the other hand, you expect Opio and I, the likes of Ledama and Sifuna, to echo what Raila Odinga wants. And if both sides pull to different directions like they are at the moment, despite the sort of truths that we saw on Sunday, then it will be a very difficult situation.
It's going to be a difficult situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I also wanted to add, in this sense, Keitany, so probably, if indeed it's going to be like the only thing they're coming up with, Keitany, is suggestions, like now it's getting presented to us. So go in, come up with suggestions. So are you going to see two-column table where the likes of Lakina, if it makes to the negotiation table, and the likes of Ichung'wah will say, on this one they said this, but we said this. Now it's up to you to decide which one we go with. Because when they're presenting this kind of rules here, Keitany, even before they go into the negotiations, you will say it's going to be a heated negotiation, to the point that they will not even come up with a single suggestion of what to present to the National House.
Yeah, so, I'm like everybody else, as I will be undertaking my mandate to inform the country, I'll be waiting to see what happens in that particular committee. Because with the sort of, and the type of, utterances that we've had in the past few weeks, and even as of yesterday through the social media accounts by those leaders, it is proving to be a very, very difficult task.
Does it?
Yes.
It's exactly what it is. But Keitany, even as you are, there's a response here that I don't know whether you may want to hear to this. This is Ajuma 3. is saying that from what Raila Odinga suggested, that is essentially making this the final decision committee. Forget about the cost of living, using the Kofi Annan approach. If William Ruto agrees it's us Kenyans who will scream. It is obviously about sharing government and the change of the constitution thereafter, if agreed upon, that is. Paints a clear picture?
You see,
maybe?
I really want to say,
yeah?
Could be the situation.
Could be the situation, if he agrees to it, isn't it? Yeah.
But of course, time will tell. Time is only, time is the only thing that will vindicate Juma's sentiments, whether that will happen or not. But at the end of the day, I really want to say, but it's like we're sitting on a time bomb. We are not sure what will happen. But at the end of the day, the expectation, not only my expectation, but as well the expectation of every Kenyan is that they'll be able to sit down and come to an agreement on what, at the end of the day, put all their sentiments in terms of, their utterances in terms of believing each one of them is right. At the end of the day, at the moment, for example, the ODM side and the Azimio team do believe that what they want is right, and the Kenya Kwanza team do believe that what they want is right, and they should go their way. And so is the Azimio team. But at the end of the day, the question is, as Azimio, you could have what you want. As Kenya Kwanza, you could have what you want. But what do Kenyans want?
That's the question.
That should be the biggest question.
That should be the question.
Yes.
Pretty much. All right, let's look into the next one this morning as regards what it is that you're talking about online. Now, this is that same thing, isn't it? This is Ruben Kigame, who's saying that the bipartisan discussions of Parliament to resolve the issues bedeviling Kenya is a good move, but it'll not work. This is because the current Parliament is under total capture of the executive, and so can only pass what the government side wants. I think that's exactly wants. And that's what he meant.
The same thing.
Isn't it? Yeah, same thing, Keitany, that you've been echoing this morning in as regards this headline as then taking the position of what their leader would essentially want, or what their side of government then would essentially want, pretty much. Yes. All right, let's jump into the next one again this morning. So we can see exactly what it is that you're talking about as well. We don't have this one. Ooh, now, this is where I have opinions. Keitany, you sack Lampard, all right? You replace him with Tuchel, all right? You sack Tuchel, you replace him with Potter. Now, when things are hard with Potter, you sack him, you go back to Lampard, who you sacked to get in better coaches. What's going on with Chelsea?
They might say east-west, home is best.
Yeah.
Sacked Lampard, brought in Tuchel.
Yeah.
Sacked him, brought in Potter. Sacked him, again brought back Frank Lampard.
Yeah, Keitany.
It's a case of going back to your ex, but
yeah.
but I mean, it's on a short-term. It's a short-term deal.
Yeah.
On a short-term basis, I believe. But at the end of the day, question is, will it work for them?
That's it.
If it did work that time.
But do they want it to work for them? That's the question, because it looks as if Chelsea have given up hope on the current season. It's clear now, because Keitany, whether they win or lose, they're still at number 10, 11, isn't it?
In fact, they're now bottom half of the table.
They're the bottom half of the table. Now, my question is, what is wrong with Lampard? Wewe ni mtu gani unapenda kutumika hivyo mazi? Keitany. Eti wewe toka kazi imekushinda bwana. And then wewe nani? Sukuje ushikilie hapa. Hizi game tano zimebaki alafu toke. And I saw some comment of somebody saying, if I were Lampard, I would go to Africa and pray for the gods of Moses to help me win the next 10 games so they give me a permanent job. Now, when the season begins, I lose the next 15 games.
Fumble again. It's like, sometimes, you see, there's a time ilikuwa debate about Frank Lampard, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
And I do believe, you see, whatever all these things that you're seeing right now, even for Manchester United, it is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will lay the foundation.
Yeah.
For me, if Chelsea would have been patient, Abramovich was never patient. If he'd have given Lampard time,
and some little more time,
I believe he would have done something. But now they fired him. Then they didn't see how important he was.
Yeah.
But now they have to
They're
bring
like-
him back just to survey the situation.
no.
But Lampard accepted because I do believe they'll be paying him good money.
Yeah, they'll pay him good money.
So,
Yeah.
but I tell you what, Simba, and I'm telling this to all Chelsea fans,
Yeah.
and I want to reiterate again and again, like I said, you're no longer a big club. Please lower your expectations.
That's it. Thank
Lower
you.
your expectations. Talam, Washera, lower your
That's
expectations.
it. Same thing that we've been told as Arsenal fans, Man United fans, lower expectations.
Yes.
We lowered it, now things are sort of working
Yes,
out. Thank you
please.
very much. Lower your
Anyway,
expectations.
We hope. You know they're playing against
That's it.
Madrid next week, so
Yeah.
total
And
chaos.
Total chaos. All right. Now, guys, thank you very much for sticking around on Morning Brief today. Apparently, we'll be going out on break shortly for the Easter. So we'll see you Tuesday. Thank you very much. All right, online at Lookuptv across all your social media platforms. I am at Kiage And Keitany, where you are.
I'm at Ian Keitany. Just before we leave, a polite reminder that Manchester United won 1-0 yesterday against Brentford. Thank you very much. Simba, over to you.
Goodbye. We didn't hear that. We didn't hear that. Inconsequential.
Sasa naomba nifungulie mlango alafu nisaidie kuweka hii kwa bute.
Kuna mtu nangoja na anakuja sai.
Wenyewe hawa watu hawako fair.
Mimi kwanza nasikianga wamenifika hapa.
Mali safi shafika.
Mali ndio imeingia.
Hiyo sasa mbona unaongoja nini? Sifungua mali. Wewe achana story.
Sasa nimekuaje kama mjazinga?
Fungua. Na kushinda kupiga kelele kama nyanya mzee amepoteza kufungua.
Niko na stress.
Tena gani?
Ni evidence gani atathibitisha ndio ajue kweli imehappen kwako?
Ati suspect. Mimi. Kwa nini? Mchimba kisima?
Mchimba kisima hiyo ni rahisi. Mchimba kisima si maji anatafuta.
Nairobi County, are you ready for the biggest TV roadshow? Lookuptv, the fastest growing family entertainment channel, will be coming to you live from your estate in partnership with Nairobi City County, Royal Fresh, Destiny Best Supermarkets, Kips Technical College, Dagmar Lands Investment Limited, Sensei Institute of Technology, Stima Sacco, Emory Hospital, Kasarani Sports View Hotel, One Kims Investment Limited, and Ultrabet. Starting on the 4th to the 8th of April, our caravan will be traversing through the following routes. 4th April, Amboseli Gardens, Lavington, Reruta Satellite, Dagoretti Corner, Kibra, Langata, Rongai, Kiserian, Gataka. 5th April, Jogorod, Makongeni, Hamsa, Pipeline, Tasia, Donholm, Buruburu, Umoja, Kayole. 7th April,